Okay, so when we um, went with the previous session, so I just explained about the introduction to what is an ERP, right? And also we discussed about the SAP and the various profiles in the SAP, like for technical and functional ends, what is the difference between consultant and users, and then we understood the scope of SAP and other things like our uh, registration process and the software installation part and all those things. So on basis of just introduction part, we have covered these things, but our main syllabus with SAP materials management, and that too with end user point of view, is going to start from today. Okay, and let us begin with that. So even today's session will be completely theoretical, but we have to begin with that, and then from next class, that is from tomorrow onwards, we can have the actual practical part, guys. So let us begin with that. So guys, when we started with this, what we call it as a ERP section, I told you that in ERP, one important concept is that is called as supply chain management. It was there here. So when we went for this ERP section, you can see we had a supply chain management as a main control. And also guys, when we had, remember that when the SAP software was developed for the first time, it was developed to resolve the issues with supply chain only, guys. Why it was majorly targeting only supply chain? Because supply chain is the backbone of every manufacturing company. It might be any manufacturing company, but this will be the backbone of that case. If you don't maintain your supply chain properly, guys, you will be under losses. Right? So we have to understand what is supply chain and why it is so much important for us. See, to get it with the definition, I have given a very simple definition to understand. So, as you can read here, supply chain management includes all activities that turn raw materials into finished goods and put them into customers' hands. Okay, guys, very simple definition. So, whatever processes are included in turning this raw materials or converting the raw materials into finished goods or finished products and putting them in the customers, and that is nothing but your sale part, sales and all. So all these things are going to be included in the supply chain. So supply chain is a very huge process, guys, starting from, as I said, when we purchase the raw materials, store it, so inventory management will come. Then after that we have to make a production activities, that is convert that raw materials into finished materials. So all those things like quality inspections, your instruments and all those things, whatever are there or whatever the process are included, each and everything comes under supply chain, including the packaging, quality inspection, sales, everything is. So everything is part of supply chain. But are we learning each and everything of supply chain? Not possible, guys. As I said, it becomes a very huge process. And of course, like when you're working in any company, alone yourself is not going to handle each and every part of the process of the company, guys. Every different department has got different tasks to handle. So, main goal of an supply chain is to improve the efficiency, quality, and productivity, and mainly the customer satisfaction. So, it has got main components like here are given: planning, sourcing, information gathering, inventory management. This is where we come, that is called materials management. Then it comes logistics and transportation. And when we send it to the vendor, so sorry, our customers, so we know that sometimes we get the return of the goods also. So whenever we get the returns, so we have to again look after the logistics of that and all the cost effectiveness. So all these parameters or all these components are part of supply chain. But out of all of them, we are learning which one, guys, right now? We are going to look after inventory management, that we call materials management, guys. Getting that is our module, main module. So coming to the materials management, guys. To explain in a simple way, everyone knows that SAP MM stands for materials management, which majorly handles with the what is inventory management, materials management, or warehouse management in a supply chain process. It is a part of logistics function which has several components and subcomponents. So which are those components and subcomponents? I'll show you when I open the software and I teach you each point. So I'll tell you there, guys, what are those components and subcomponents. Now, the main key functions of this SAP MM will be dealing with the procurement activities, that is purchasing the materials and all. Then inventory management, tracking, managing the inventory, stocks and all those things, and also making the proper MRP planning. MRP stands for material requirement planning here, guys. Okay, so we are going to look after material recovery because our main production activities which are there, forecasting those in the future scenarios and gathering the materials information now itself. So that becomes a very important criteria of planning case. So MRP is going to help you in that category. So we are going to come in depth of with all these points when we actually start with the practical part. But right now, remember that these are the main key functions of SAP materials management. Okay, so this was just a brief introduction. Now, coming to the main topic. So, our first thing what we need to understand when we start with the software part is that is organization structure, guys. See, whenever a company takes the license, so let us come back to our previous session. So, when I explained you about the consultant and end user difference. So, anyone can tell me, guys, what is this consultant and end user? So, what happens in consultant initially, if you understood? What happens in consultant, guys?
The consultant is who sets up the means implementation and installations, and the end user is the person who actually uses the ERP system.
Right, so simple thing is that we can say the installation, as you said correctly. So installation and what we call it as the setuping of the software as per the need of the customer, so which is all included in the consultant part. Now the thing is that the process or the model which we are learning SAP MM, we are learning from end user point of view. Correct or no? We are not learning consultant. It means we will be acting like a employee of a company, and therefore we will be processing the information. Now, what we have done in this software, the one which we have given ECC version, the one in that we have built a demo company, guys, okay, which is by default ready, and everyone is going to use that demo company's information to work on end user segment, guys. No one is going to build their own company new completely, no, guys. So that will be a very hectic job because we have understood that in the consultant segment. So we are not learning consultant here. So we are end users. So from end user point of view, we have to understand our company structure before we start working, guys. So that part is right now we are going to cover under organization structure or enterprise structure. So even this information will be important even from consultant point of view also, and even from end user case. So just try to understand this. Okay, so I will make it simple. As you can see in this picture here, for this organization structure or enterprise structure, I have given here four levels of information. One is the topmost level, that is client. Then under that comes the company code. Under that we have the plants, and then we have the storage location. So right now we have taken storage location because we are dealing with materials management model, which is nothing but inventory management, and our inventory or materials are stored at storage location level. So we are going to come until there. Now let me skip this client part. Okay, so if I remove this client, guys, I hope everyone can easily classify the difference between company, plant, and storage location, right? I hope everyone can understand this because see, if I take a particular company like Tata Motors, so Tata Motors might have multiple plants all over the India or all over the world. So they have got different plants at different locations. So I can set up the different plants as per the need, and under each plant I can set up as many storage location also. But no. So this is how the structure is built. But as you can see here, they have taken two company codes which are under one client. Now, the main important thing is understanding the difference between client part and the company code part. So, guys, now coming to this section, client part. How many of you know what is actually a client? What do you mean by client, guys?
Customer.
Customer? Yes, guys, correct. So, we say client is nothing but a customer uh, through whom I'm getting a business and all the payments also, right? So, he is my customer. So, therefore, it is a very important point. Now here we are not putting the points from business point of view. Here we are trying to understand the important points from software point of view, guys. So as you said, client means customer. That is correct, guys. Right. But here, when we build organization structure in SAP software, the client meaning has got a separate definition. Okay, it's a little bit different definition. So let me try to explain you. So how it is classified. Uh, Let me take a simple example here. Now see guys, um, anyone currently working in any manufacturing company, small scale manufacturing company, or previously worked, just they know the name of that. Any manufacturing guys, just tell me the name of that and in which segment they are involved in.
Foxconn, sir.
Foxconn, yeah. So Foxconn, double N it is right, or only one?
Yeah, double N.
Okay. Now see, Foxconn is a manufacturing company, or you can say majorly they are involved in iPhone assemblies and all, right? So what they're doing?
Right.
Are they manufacturing or are they involved in only assembly?
Assembly, sir.
Assembly segments. Okay. So let us say this is a company, and like imagine now like they are manufacturing the components of iPhone and even they are assembling. Let's take a manufacturing smartphone manufacturing company. Now the thing is, this company is having multiple what I say plants. It might have multiple plants all over the world and so on. But the main criteria is in which all business segment this Foxconn is involved. Is it involved in only one business segment, or is it involved in multiple business segments like IT service provider, manufacturing, retail industries, telecom industry? Are they involved in multiple segments or only one business segment?
Only one, sir. Assembly,
Okay, so let us say
amendment.
they are involved in assembly, right? Assembly, manufacturing. Okay. Now see, when Foxconn like company, even though they are big company, when they take the license of SAP to manage their different department informations, it is SAP software license only. So in that case, what happens? The company structure, what is built, right? So here, the client level, which is there, it will be called as Foxconn Limited or whatever the actual name is there, Foxconn Limited, Private Limited or whatever. Under that, we'll be having only one company code. Even that will be noted as Foxconn only. And under that company, we can build as many plants they have and as many storage locations they have in each plant. The categorization will be like this. But the same thing when we compare with another big companies which are involved in multiple business segments. For example, Tata Sons, or you can take Godrej Industries, or you can take Reliance Industries, or you can take Adani Groups, right? So likewise, there are so many big industries or big organizations which are involved in multiple businesses. So can you name me some few entities which are under Tata Sons or Tata Groups?
TCS,
Tata Steels,
Tata Motors,
Ganesh.
Right? Tata Motors, Tata Steel, then
Titan,
Titan is there, then we have Tata Consumer
Alphard,
Products,
Tanish Jewelers.
then we
Yeah,
have
Ganesh.
Tata Chemicals, Tata EIG. Good or no?
Big basket.
Yeah. So they are involved in so many different businesses. They're not involved in only one type
yeah,
of businesses. Correct, right? So these are called as big
yes.
organizations. Now, when these kind of organizations take SAP license, even they have to manage with respect to each and every different companies. Now the question comes: this Tata Motors, Tata TCS, Tata Steel, are they separate companies or are they separate plants?
Separate,
Separate plant.
separate
Separate
plants.
plants, sir.
No, guys, you cannot say plants. You have to say they are separate companies because Tata Motor is a separate entity. Okay, TCS is a separate entity. We cannot combine Tata Motors financial information with TCS information, guys. Not possible. Okay, so neither with Tata Steel or neither. Each one is a separate entity, but all of them are under which group? Tata groups or Tata Sons. Getting it? All are reporting to Tata Sons here. So they are separate companies, guys. Here they are separate companies, they are not separate plants. We cannot say separate plants, guys. Each company has got multiple plants. Tata Motors has got multiple plants, TCS has got multiple plants, Tata Steels has got multiple plants. But when it comes to financial information, each company will have their own PL statements. Getting, guys? They don't mix up with each other. We cannot say if the plants are, if they are looking like a plants, and I will combine all this information and give the total part. So it is not like that, guys. So each one is a separate company. When these kind of organization, Tata Sons or Reliance groups, Adani groups, this kind of companies, when they take, sorry, yes. So when these kind of companies take license of the software, so what happens in that case, guys? Now the classification will come here. Now who will be at the client level, guys? Now the client level will be Tata Sons. Under that, we can build as many company codes here. Tata Motors, Tata Steels, TCS, and many more. And below that, it will remain same. Under each company code, we can build as many plants, as many storage locations, and so. Understood, guys? So when the client is set up, this is directly set up by the SAP company. Whenever we approach for the license of the software, so the client, it might be the small scale industries, or we can take a big industries, like we took two examples comparison here. So both for that, both the SAP company will set up the client information, give you. But below that, whatever is there, setting the company, plant, storage location, all this information will be taken care by whom? By the consultant people, guys. The implementation projects, which are just now explained before. Getting, guys? So this is what we call it as organization structure. So that's why, since we are learning now a materials management module from end user point of view, so we have to understand that we will be working as a employee of a particular company. So which is that company? So that information we have already built in my system, the system which the software which we have shared. So we have to understand that organization structure and remember it until unless we finish this syllabus case. And based on the same organization structure, we are going to uh, uh, put the informations in our software and execute the documents and all this. Okay. So I hope that is clear. What is the difference between client and company?
Yes, sir.
Right? So just a simple sentence I've given here. You can read the highest level in organization structure is client, and inside the client there can be multiple company codes which are legal entities within the organization structure. Inside these company code there can be multiple plants, and inside the plants there can be multiple storage locations which are used to differentiate between materials stored. Apart from this, we can also going to go for purchase organization, purchase group. That structure I'll give it in the below section, guys. Right? So let us take this. So here I have given a company structure which is by default ready in your system now. We have taken a demo company that is German based. What is the name of the company? What is this? What are the different departments information? So all those are not required right now. When I teach you with the practical part, I will show you all that information. But to remember or to begin with, you have to remember this structure, guys. So what I have done, same four levels I have taken initially. Client, under that I have taken a particular company, under that I have taken two plants, and under each plant I have taken two storage location. It means total four storage locations, two plants, one company and one client. Now even though let us say you are working for Tata Motors, guys, you cannot access the information of TCS. You will be not having that access, guys. Even though that all the information is saved under same group, they we cannot have the informations shared. Every company will have their different informations, guys. So therefore, when we are going to learn, we are going to work for only one company, guys. We cannot work for multiple companies here. So I have taken only one company, and under that company we are going to work for multiple plants and multiple storage location. But apart from that, as I said, we need some extra information related to accounts and purchase department, which I've given here. Like in purchase department, we have got two sub classification for purchase organization and purchase group, which have got different levels of work. I'll explain that when we come for the practical part once again. And apart from that, we have got the cost centers in the accounts department. So this information you have to remember, guys. And you can see I have given some code names beside every company code, plant and all, right? So what that code has got a meaning. See, guys, when SAP software is been designed, um, anything which you enter in the software has to be entered in terms of code name, guys. We cannot enter, like if I want to enter a company name, every time I cannot keep on typing the company name, guys. I have to get the code name. Just like, see, when you have got studying in the colleges, you get your USN number or roll numbers, right? Or USN number. Apart from that, when you work in any companies, you get employee code for recognition. The same here. What SAP has done is, whenever a client is set up, right, its name will be there in the system, but we have to generate a code for that. And that code has got a 3-digit alphanumeric code set up. Okay, 3-digit alphanumeric. So alphanumeric means combination of alphabets and numbers. So here you can see we have taken 3-digit number only. So you can take combination of anything, but this setup will be done by whom, guys? As I said, by the SAP company directly. No one can alter this, no one can change this once it is set up. Okay. Apart from that, once it comes to the company level, this all is set up by the consultant level. From here onwards, we can take maximum 4-digit alphanumeric code, guys. If you want, you can take 3-digit also, but we can take maximum 4-digit alphanumeric code. So as you can see, company code I have given as 1000, plant 1 also I have given as 1000, plant 2 I have given as 1200, and storage location 1, storage location 2, 000 and 0002. And apart from that, again, for every purchase department, every cost centers, we have given different codes, which you have to remember and enter this information whenever required in the software. So I'll ask this information, guys. So I'll just give you 2 minutes, guys. So take your 2 minutes and make a note of this organization structure, guys. Everyone. Done, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. So please do remember this. So it will be very much important for us in the next sessions. So we'll be coming back to this once again, guys. So remember, this is a German-based company I've taken. So it is a demo-based company which we have prepared already in our system and kept it ready. So we'll be using it whenever required in my system. Okay. Apart from this, please make a note of this information also. I will tell about this part in the later on section. Just make a note of this: vendor codes and material codes.
Hello, sir. Like, is it mandatory to have the company code in 4 characters, or we can have more than that?
No, it is mandatory. It is for alphanumeric characters. A
Okay.
system, the
Okay.
SAP
Thank you.
itself is configured in such a manner that whatever the organization structure you consider, these four levels. So first client level is 3 digit, and rest all level maximum 4 digit.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So after this, we are going to come with our first most important topic of our syllabus, that is SAP MM, and that will be our source to pay or procure to pay cycle. In short, we call it as S2P or P2P cycle. A very very important concept, even for your interview point of view and for this SAP materials management case. Anyone has heard about this, guys? Anyone who has worked in purchase department earlier or accounts department, have they heard about this source to pay or procure to pay? No idea? No issues, guys. So let me explain it because this is a very important topic. So we are going to understand this in today's session step by step. Uh, Leave sourcing. At least we can understand the procurement meaning. So anyone knows, guys, what is the meaning of procurement?
Purchasing.
Procurement. Yes, yes.
To
Procurement.
extract materials.
Procurement means you can
Storage.
simple say purchasing case. Right now you can just take it into consideration as purchasing. Procurement means purchasing, right? What we are going to purchase, the materials which are required or the services which are required in our organization, right? Now let us imagine that our company which we have taken as a demo company, it is a manufacturing company, and let us say even that is a automobile manufacturing company only, and now we have to purchase the raw materials for a project. And let us say we are hired as a new employees of the company. We don't know anything about the projects, and the project is also completely new for the company case. It is not like the project was running from past. It is a completely new project, and for that new project they have hired us. Now you tell me, if you have been put in a position of purchase department where you have to purchase the materials required for that new project, what will be your first step? What will you do?
Identification of what I need and whom from whom I can source.
Finding vendor.
List of the materials we can say.
Right? So we have got multiple answers. Correct. See, the first thing is that we should always have the information about the projects, gather the information of what materials I want to purchase and in how many quantities I want to purchase, by when I want to purchase each and every information. Right? Now, leave about this, guys, leave about the project. Now let me take a simple example for your household groceries. Now suppose if your mom says go and buy groceries, do you directly go to any shop and buy any groceries?
Yes, sir. No, we will ask what are the groceries we want.
Yes. So first you should have what list of all the groceries, list of the requirements, what is needed. Simple. So here also guys, we are going to do the same thing. So we are just going to collect the information in the initial stage, because this is a new project, and even we are new for this project and company also. So we have to gather the information about our requirements. Anyway, it is an automobile project only. So for that automobile projects, what are the requirements we have to gather? So the first step we call it as determination of requirements. So what we do in this step guys, we prepare the list of uh, required materials, or you can say services, which are required in our organization. Correct guys? So once this list is prepared guys, what you do next? Now suppose your groceries list is ready now. What you do next guys?
20 26.
You want to know?
Yeah, see, when I say prepare the list, of course everything is been set. Let us say your budget is finalized, your quantities has been finalized, your delivery date, or by when you require that info material, everything is finalized guys. Okay, then what next?
Choosing vendor.
Choosing the vendor. Correct. Choosing the supplier, you can say guys, right? Supplier or vendor, both are the same terms, but anyway, so when we say that once the list of groceries are ready, now you are going to go and purchase the materials. Now the options are multiple to purchase them. You can purchase from the nearby shop, or you can go for the local mart, or you can go for uh, D marts or big bazaars or Reliance bazaars, or any big retail industries or retail shops, and you can get from there. Anyway, what you're going to look when we are purchasing it from different supplier, you are going to compare all of them, right or no guys? Because see, you want a better product with a better price, with a better delivery time, and with the better payment options, all of that. So it has to be seen which factors suit you best at that particular time. Now that depends upon your analysis, and also depends upon the requirement guys. Now suppose if the requirement is just 1 kg of sugar in that grocery list. Okay, so if the grocery list is 1 kg of sugar. Now if you say about the time, about the price, now let us say I'll give you three options to purchase. You can purchase from the nearby shop, or you can order it online, and you can purchase it from the DMart. Okay, and let us say if you purchase from the retail shop, it is 40 rupees per kg, without any discount. Of course, you have to go and purchase it from the normal shop, nearby shop to your home. DMart, let us say it is 5 kilometers away, which is charging 38 rupees, so 2 rupees less than the retail shop. And let us say the third option is that you are going to purchase it from online. uh, of course, that is having a 40 rupees only, same cost, and they are giving again discount of 2 rupees, but they are adding delivery charges because you are not meeting the threshold value, minimum order value. Correct. So they are charging 50 rupees extra for the delivery. Now you tell me, which one do you choose?
Nearby store.
Nearby shops.
Nearby shop. Correct guys?
Yeah.
So now the requirement was just 1 kg of sugar, and since the price was not an important factor here, because just saving 2 rupees and going to DMart or purchasing online was not a valid point. So you selected which one guys? Nearby shop. Right? Even though the 2 rupees difference is there, 40 rupees I'm getting, but it is fine. That is manageable, not a problem. But now if suppose if I change my requirement, instead of my requirement list of only 1 kg of sugar, suppose if I say my requirement is some 30 to 40 list of groceries. Your mother has prepared a different list of groceries. Now which option do you prefer?
I can go with the
Hmm?
Demand.
Right, yeah,
demand.
it is your choice. You can now because anyway your minimum threshold value of the online shopping also will go, because you are taking much, and also you'll get a discounted and home delivery with there. Or if you say I want to actually check the quality of the product and all, you can directly go to DMart and purchase, because where you're going to get a discounted price, and you can save lot of amount as compared to the normal shop or nearby shop, because they are giving at the MRP price, right? So of course your options will change based on that requirement. So what is the first thing here? First we have to find out the list of suppliers, and based on all those suppliers we have to evaluate them, analyze the information, and after that you select the best out of that. Right guys? So that is what we call the first step, determination of source of supply. Okay, so what by determination of source of supply? Find multiple vendors or suppliers information and evaluate them. Evaluation is important, right guys? Because we have to compare all the vendors based on my requirements. So we evaluate them. Right. So after evaluation, what we do? We select the best out of all this. So selection of vendor, best vendor, I can say. Yes. So let us now say vendor is also selected based on your requirement information and everything is ready. What next guys? What next? Can I directly start my business with him now?
Purchase order.
Purchase order. Yes guys. See. So once the vendor is selected, what you need to do now? Of course, you have to place your order of your requirements and get the material from here. But what happens in actual company when we select a vendor, until unless his onboarding process is not completed, we cannot proceed for purchase activities case. So the most important thing after selection is contract management. What my contract management? Simple thing. Let me ask you guys. So let us say you are giving an interview and
Negotiation.
yeah, see negotiation is done before selection or after selection?
Before selection.
Because it has to be before selection. So whatever those negotiation comparison fact, that's why I said evaluate them. So in evaluation everything comes, your comparison, negotiation, everything, and based after that we select a vendor guys. Right. So right now contract is where we are going to put all our terms and conditions very clearly on a documentation part. Simple as that. Like I was giving an example, let us say you are giving an interview and you have been shortlisted. Can you join the company from next day itself and start working in the company?
No,
Let us
sir.
say today you have completed or cracked the
Sure,
job
sir.
interviews, and from tomorrow your process starts. Like from tomorrow you can join the company and start working.
No, sir.
What happens there?
No.
Need to sign the
Need
contract.
not. Yeah.
Right? So even though you have cracked the interview, when you are shortlisted, it does not mean that you are directly got selected for the companies based on the other things. Because what happens initially, they will collect your documentation part, they will release the offer letter. Offer letter is nothing but just like a contract between you and the company, where they put the terms and condition, they put the salary informations and all those things, and all the terms and conditions. So you have to accept it. Then once the acceptance is done, then you can say you can join the company based on the joining date and you start working there. The same here also guys, when we select a vendor, until and unless all the formalities are not done, like on a paper or a contract is not signed, we cannot say that that vendor is a finalized vendor. Because if he leaves or suppose in future cases, if he does not give me all the materials in line or in time with respect to my terms and conditions which we had discussed earlier, then without contract it becomes a invalid point. So it becomes very difficult for us to manage. Therefore contract management is very important. Once a contract is signed, then we can say that we are associated with the vendor for long term, and then we can proceed with our purchase activities henceforth. So next very important parameter is, now we have to go for purchase activity. So our actual purchase starts from here. So vendor is selected, contracts is signed, all the terms and conditions are put very clear. The what next guys? Now as somebody said, creating the purchase order, right? So we call it as placing the order. Tell me guys, how do you place order? So first thing is you have to create a purchase order. In short, we call it as P. I hope many people know about this. Even if anyone is a fresher, remember purchase order is a document which contains list of all your requirement information about the vendor to whom we have to from where we have to purchase it, and all the price informations, delivery address, everything. And apart from that, all the terms and conditions which are signed in this contract. So everything will be added in this purchase order and sent to the vendor base. Okay. So purchase order is created by the buyer and sent to the vendor, where it becomes a very important document for purchase activities. Right. Now what happens guys? Once you create a purchase order, what happens next? Yes guys, do you think your order is placed? Is it done?
Goods received.
We get the authorization from there.
See guys, who creates purchase order? I said buyer creates a purchase order. So buyer has put all the terms and conditions from his end, which material requirement he has, what was the price decided before, what was the delivery time, what is the delivery address, all the information about vendor to whom he's sending, everything he has put, guys, no problem, right? But who has to approve it?
Vendor.
Vendor also has to approve it, guys, correct? So what happens in the next stage is, once you have this information about, like, once the purchase order is created, so we have to get it approved or evaluated by our higher authorities, that is your manager, team lead, project manager, whoever is there, and release it to the vendor. And then vendor also will provide the approval for that case, which is called as order acknowledgement. Okay, I'll just put that points and I'll explain it. See, once you create a purchase order, okay, we are going to take approval and release it to the vendor. Once vendor receives it, checks and approves the PO by providing order confirmation. Getting it? So once vendor checks it, he provides the approval for that, saying that I have checked all the information about the PO price and everything, and he provides the order confirmation to the buyer base. Once the order is confirmed, then we can say the materials are going to get dispatched, and based on that, the buyer is going to receive it. This order confirmation is very, very, very important, guys. Right? Without this order confirmation, you cannot say that your order is placed. Until unless I don't receive the confirmation message from the vendor, your order is not placed, guys. By creating just PO, by taking just approval from your higher authorities and releasing it to the vendor, does not provide the completeness of the order placement. Order is placed only after taking confirmation from the supplier, guys. Right? Now see, same thing it happens like whenever you um, go for online shoppings and all, guys, like you might have done multiple times. So whenever, let us say, you are purchasing some item from the Amazon, you select the item and lastly you proceed for the payment activities and delivery address you put, and last the option was like place order. So when you click on place order, do you receive a confirmation message from a supplier or no, saying that your order is confirmed and you will receive the material in 2 to 3 working days?
We
Do you
will get
receive
some.
such kind of message or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
yes.
what? So what is that, guys? That is what we call it as order confirmation. If you don't receive that, then your order is not placed. So in industry, it is a very important parameter, guys. Okay, but only what happens, it will not happen as immediate as what we do in online shopping. So here all the parameters is checked by the vendor, even he provides the approval in 1 day, 2 day, or whatever the timeline is given there. So once that we get the approval, then we can say that the materials are going to be dispatched. So then vendor will dispatch the material as per the confirmation. In that confirmation, he will be giving all the information, guys, which material is going to dispatch. Sometimes it happens like vendor might dispatch in installments, like in this month he's going to put some 5-10 materials, next month he's going to send some another 5-10 materials. So it might happen even though you place the order all in once. So whatever he's in process of dispatching or his material supply will be there, all those confirmation will be put in that document. So we call it as order acknowledgement, and as a buyer we receive it, and as per that we receive the material also. Okay, so what is the next process? What happens after the confirmation is taken from the buyer? After we receive the confirmation from the buyer, guys, next what we have to do is, as a buyer we have to take follow with the vendor for timely delivery of the material. Okay, guys, so do you also track and take a follow-up, guys, or no?
Yes, sir.
Correct. So same thing. So here also we track the material delivery status, and whenever if it is getting delayed and all, so we can take a continuous follow-up saying where it has reached. Because see, local business are not a problem, but when we do international businesses, guys, or international transportation, so there might be some kind of issues always. So we have to tackle those issues and we have to be prepared for that. So those things are going to be taken care by both buyer and suppliers. I'll come to those points also later on. And let us say after that we receive the material. So what you're going to do once you receive the material? Hmm? So what we have to do, guys, after we receive the materials?
Check the quantity and quality.
Correct, guys.
We check the material with the purchasing order.
Simple. So that is the work of which department now? Inventory team, right? We call it as the warehouse team, the inventory team. So whenever they receive the material, so those people will check the material inward what is material quality, material quantities, everything, and based on that even the report has to be generated, guys. Okay, only
GR.
just checking it and giving approval is not done. So we have to create a report on that also, and that report we call it as GRN. GRN means goods receipt note. Let me come to that. Uh, After quality inspection and update the information in GRN. We call it as goods receipt note. Okay, very important is goods receipt note. So we have to create a GRN space here. So
Excuse me, sir.
this document, what it is nothing but a
Hello.
confirmation message. Yes,
Sir, your typing is not visible on the screen.
not
6.
visible.
Are
Uh,
you typing or what? I mean,
yes, of course I'm typing it.
but last with the buyer and after it's not showing.
Not visible. Okay, no problem. I'll just reshare the screen. What about other guys? Can you see my screen or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Visible.
it's visible, sir.
You can see.
It is a visible.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Visible.
sir.
Visible.
Okay, just give me a second. I'll reshare it. I hope some issues have happened. Uh, Check now. Rahul, can you check? Can you see it? Okay. Okay. So I was saying about what is GRN, goods receipt note. See, why it is an important thing to create a goods receipt note. See, as the vendor has provided us the confirmation when he received the PO, it is our job also, that it is our responsibility also, that when we receive the material, we have to provide the confirmation about the material received part to the vendor, right? So it is not like just providing the OTP. When we do online shopping, we provide just OTP and get it done, right? It is not like that. Here what we have to do is we have to prepare a proper documentation as per the material received part, which material I have received, how many quantities were in good condition, how many were in defective condition. With respect to each and every parameters, we have to prepare a report and provide that updated report to the vendor also. Yes. Why? Because based on that only next our payment process and all are going to happen. If I don't update that information, that then what vendor will decide? Vendor will decide that I have provided all good condition and you are going to make a full payment. Yes or no? That is not going to happen. So here we have to provide a update. So that is through GRN case. So goods receipt note is a very very important document which we have to generate after receiving the material. Good guys? Done. Next what? Once we receive, or let us say once we create, when I say we, always everyone imagine that we are acting like a buyer now. We are working for a company, right? So we have got the requirement, so we are buyer now, right? So once we receive the material and create a GRN, what we are going to do, send a copy of this to the vendor. And what vendor will do, guys?
Replace the goods.
Okay, vendor will
He
replace
will
the
send the
goods.
bill, sir.
Yeah. uh, let us imagine now that we have received all 100% in good condition. Let us take a simple scenario and let us go with that, saying that all metals are in good condition. What next?
He will send the bill,
Verifying.
sir. Payment.
And issues what else? Invoice. See, as a buyer, if you
Invoice.
want to make a payment, you are going to make a payment based on which document?
Invoice.
Invoice. Without bill, invoice is nothing but what? Bill. Without bill, can you make a payment, guys? All right. So what
No,
we
sir.
need to do, we have to
No, sir.
get the bill. Invoice is nothing but a bill which is issued by the supplier after he also gets the information about material received part by the buyer. Okay. So once the invoice has been issued to the buyer, what buyer has to do now, guys? Payment.
Billing. Billing, yes. Billing.
Billing. See, billing is done by the vendor or buyer.
Make the payment.
Vendor.
No, guys, there is one more
He will
very
pay the amount.
no, guys, that's what we before payment there is one more important step. What is that, guys?
Checking the invoice.
Yes, we call it as invoice verification. Is it important or no, guys? What do you think?
Yes.
Important,
Very
sir.
important, sir.
Very very important step, guys. See, normally when you also go for a normal shopping or any purchase activities, even you check the bill, right? You cross verify with respect to material received and you check the material cost and everything to make a tally. So just imagine when a business is running, they are of course having a big amount this year. It is not a small amount business. So whenever the purchase sales are going to happen, there will be a lot of big amount. So therefore, invoice verification will be a very very crucial step before payment, because whatever the invoice vendor has provided, whether it is getting tallied with the material received part, material ordered part, and everything is getting in line, then invoice verification report will be cleared, and lastly the process will be sent for payment gateway, right? And the payments will be done by the accounts committee, by the accounts payable team. We have got two teams like accounts payable, account receivable. I'll come to that later, but let us say the payments are done. So once the payment is done, we'll go for the next cycle. But now, supposing during invoice verification, if anything gets what I say uh, checked with the information not getting tallied, then what will happen, guys? Here, if my material received part and invoiced part information is not getting tallied, then we are going to block this invoice, hold the payment, and get in touch with the supplier to rectify the invoice, or let us check like whether our information has got wrong, right? So we are going to verify all this information, cross verification. That's why we call invoice verification, right? So at the end anyway we have to make a payment. So let us again take a simple scenario that invoice got verified with all the information, and we are going to initially or finally we are going to make a payment. So this entire 10 steps which I have explained is part of what? S2P cycle or P2P cycle. Understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Now the question arises, so why the two names have been given? Why not only one? So of course there is a big difference between that, and I'll come to that point also. Now before I go there, just look into these 10 steps, guys, and tell me, can all this process be done by only one person or one department?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
It is again the task of multiple peoples with multiple departments. For let me start with finding out the requirement information, right? So who provides the requirement of the materials, guys? How much requirement is there in the company? Which project has to go with? Who will provide? Majorly they will be involved with the manufacturing team, or let us say sales team. They are going to provide you the information about the required project. After that, then we have got source of supply. Who is going to do the sourcing? Who is going to select the vendor? Who is going to sign the contract and all? This is done by purchase department, guys. Okay, majorly we call sourcing committee. Sourcing team is there. They follow up all this process, including placing an order. Placing an order, it is a pure purchase department role. So this is involved in sourcing, it's contract management and all, which is again the part of purchase department itself. But here major purchase department will create a PO, take approval from the vendor also for the order confirmation, and after that they track the material delivery status also, guys. This is again done by purchase department itself. After that, the inventory team, as we discussed, the warehouse team, they receive the material, they create the GR report, not purchase department. And once that GR is issued, the invoices are issued by the supplier. These are going to be verified by the accounts committee, which is called the accounts payable team, and they are going to initiate the payment. So as you can see, multiple departments are involved in this cycle. So we have to understand every process from end to end cycle only, guys, because when you go for any interviews, they are going to ask you, even though if you say my experience was only in PO, they'll not ask you only PO information, guys, PO questions. They'll ask you the entire scenario questions. They'll check how much knowledge you have. They'll say explain P2P cycle or explain S2P cycle. So you have to explain in your own words based on the examples or the materials which we are going to work in the system. Very nice. But at least overall, I hope everyone has understood what is this S2P or P2P cycle. Any confusion here?
No, sir.
Sir, as you told, there are 10 steps, right?
Mhm.
Whether we are going to work in all of them or any one particular in particular in when we join a company.
When you join a company, guys, you'll be working for only one team. You're not going to work for all of that.
Okay. Okay, sir. For example, for the first one, determination of requirements. If I am working in a company
Hmm.
in the requirements,
Hmm.
so the company will give their requirements, right, for us.
But you are already
The
working for a company only,
whether
no? When you say companies, probably which
uh,
company? Your company itself needs a requirement, a material requirement, right?
okay,
So in the
okay, sir.
company, in which
Then
department? Hmm.
okay, okay, sir. The company will specify their requirements. Then what we are going to do, sir, in the requirement step?
So check, like now suppose the production team has got a new project. So with the discussion with the sales team, what output they want or what is the need in the customer's requirement. So because customer will give the project based on that only we have to manufacture, right? So the sales team will
Yes,
get in touch with the production department and let us say the other inventory department, and they check how much stock is available or we have to purchase entirely the new stock, and this they will make a proper plan saying suppose they have said that monthly 1,000 units we have to manufacture, so for 1,000 units how much raw material requirement we have, so we have to make a proper plan. And this material requirement, like which grade of material I want, in how many quantities I want, by when we want to start the project, all this information will be furnished and a proper budget will be finalized, and this information is sent to purchase department for which they start for what, finding out the new source of supply, selecting a vendor, negotiating with him, taking the quotations, comparing, and doing a lot many things here. And once that is done, then we have to go into place a purchase order with whichever vendor gets selected, and the process continues there.
sir. Okay. Once we have make a list of the required materials, whether we need to get the approval from the company.
Of
So
course,
we
sir.
have discussed with
Yeah, because see, each and every stage here requires the approval of multiple documents. Because we create a PRs, before we create a PO, we have to create the PRs and all. So we have to take approvals and multiple things are there. There are many other documentations. Even we call it as RFQs. Take approvals for RFQs before we send to vendors. Then then receive the quotations, maintain the information, make a comparison statements. Again, take approval of them. So lot many things are there. See, there is a difference between when you work for a manufacturing company and when you work for a IT service company. That is IT company simply. Because IT companies don't manufacture anything, right? So always they have to depend upon their client or customer to take approval for the purchase activities. But when a manufacturing company is there, when they want the manufacturing all the metals in their own company, then it is not so hectic job.
okay,
I'll
sir.
explain
Got.
those things,
Thank
don't
you.
worry. Because when we start with the actual, what I say, practical part of the software, right? I'll come to this each step in a detailed manner because this is just an overall process to explain you the overall, what I say, process of S2P or P2P cycle. But when we get in classes, I'll explain you each and every step.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So now see, guys. Now, what I was saying, yeah. Now I'll ask you one question, guys. So since the project was new, you were as a hired as a new employee. So you found out the requirement. You have done lot many other activities, and we have completed a process, payment activities. All right, done. So let us say whatever material we had purchased initially. So this material were used for next 2 to 3 months, and after that, again the what I say shortage of material were occurring, and the manufacturing team again they have raised the requirement of the materials because they are working on an ongoing project now which is for next 1 year. Now you tell me, guys, when that requirement arises for the second time onwards, are you going to follow all the steps once again?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Then what you do, guys?
Creating the purchase order.
We can directly go for the place. POs, sir.
Simple. So from next time onwards, whenever requirement of material arises, next time onwards, there is no need of finding out the new source of supply. There is no need of selecting again a new vendor or making again new contract. Because see, previously when I had done it for the first time, so of course when I say I'm making a contract with the vendor, so let us say we have made a contract of 1 year. And if this vendor is providing us the good material in good time, good conditions and all, so I'm not going to look after any other new vendor from next time onwards. So next time onwards, what we are going to do? Once we have got a requirement, directly I'm going to what? Place the order. That is by creating a purchase orders, doing all those things, and whatever the next process is there, those will remain as it is. Correct? Right? So this process is actually called as P2P cycle. Whenever you start your process from placing the order and end with the payment activities, which is called as P2P cycle, procure to pay cycle. And henceforth, until and unless your contract gets terminated with the vendor, this process will continue as P2P cycle only. We don't go for S2P cycle. S2P, as the name suggests, source to pay cycle, where we have to source a new vendor and then go with the procurement payment activities. Right? So, anyway, source to pay is the entire cycle. It is a complete whole cycle. But that we don't do regularly for each and every time procurement case. That is the process when we go for a new procurement or any kind of other changes, or whenever there is a need of selecting a new vendor. That we don't do every time. So are we going to select every time new vendor? No guys, right? So we have to
No,
go
sir.
for procure to pay cycle. So procure to pay involves purchase activities with a regular ongoing vendor base. Okay, so this is the difference between S2P and P2P cycle. Understood the difference?
Sir, sir, I'm having one doubt here.
Hmm.
Like by chance, if there is suppose if we want to purchase any like different material, at that time again we need to go with all the from the first beginning itself, right?
Yeah, of course we have to go with that. It all depends
Okay.
upon the requirement now. So now if you're saying that the requirement of the material is such that we don't have any vendor in my company for that material, then of course we have to again go from starting only. But that is only one time, no? So are you going to do it every time?
Yes, sir. Only one time.
Right, right. So once that vendor is selected, so of course we are going to get associated with that vendor until and unless that contract is with that vendor, or let us say until and unless we don't have any issue with that vendor, I can renew my contract and I can continue with the business with him. Only if anything happens in between, like if the vendor is not supplying me any good condition material or he is not getting in line with the terms and conditions which we had signed, so we can terminate his contract and again we have to look for the new vendor. That is there. But what I'm trying to say is, just imagine, like if you think positively, let us say if the project goes well, everything that vendor is giving you the correct material in correct time in good conditions and all, so of course we don't look after any other vendor. And of course any company who goes for purchase activities, they are not going to waste their time every time to select a new vendor. Because see, selection of a vendor is not a simple job guys. It is also a very critical job. Now do you think it will happen just in one day? Selecting a vendor, do you think will happen in only one day? Not possible guys. It is a very very again
No, sir.
critical job here. So no, none of the company wants to waste the time to select a vendor every time. Once they do it, they see that this vendor is for long term only. Understood? Getting it guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you have understood the difference guys between S2P and P2P, so can anybody just tell me in short sentence guys, if like suppose if anyone in the interview is asking, tell me the difference between P2P and S2P. So in short, how you are going to explain?
So
Yeah.
S2P means uh, hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, may I?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Sir, S2P means uh, taking the goods from starting, and P2P means recycle after purchasing order and all.
Okay.
Uh, the S2P means
Okay. Good. At least you tried. So let me put those points again very much clear, guys. See, this is very much important to be understood. Okay. So here, let me take the cycle like this. Actually, this process of S2P, which is there, it is combination of two cycles, guys. One we call it as S2C plus P2P. Now, what is source to pay? S2P complete cycle, guys, which I've told, like finding out the new source till the payment activities, whatever are there, everything is a S2P cycle. What is S2C? We call it as source to contract. We call it as source to contract. What is that? As I said, this process of finding out the new vendor, sourcing, selecting the best vendor, and making a contract is also a process, guys, which is categorized under source to contract cycle, right? And once that is done, we go with the remaining thing as what? P2P cycle, right? So S2P is combination of S2C plus P2P. But majorly, they don't ask about S2C in most of the interviews. They are concerned with only S2P and P2P. But you remember it. They are again different parameter. So let me explain what is the difference between S2P and P2P. See, guys, in a simple uh, picture, I put the points very much clear. Where source to pay includes everything, making the spend analytics, doing the sourcing activities, selecting the vendors, making contracts with the vendors, placing the order, receiving the materials and everything, and making the payments after invoice verification. Each and every steps contributes to S2P. As you can see, they have made source to contract, which means up to contract management from spend analytics, that is called as source to contract. And after that, placing the order and making payments are the part of purchase to pay. So how can you classify here the difference? In a simple manner, I explained here. Now see, whenever you have got the requirement of the materials, and suppose for that material, you already have the vendor in your company. Okay, vendor exists. Then what you do, guys? You directly create a purchase order in the name of that vendor, receive the material and do the GRM, receive the invoice and do the invoice verification, and lastly, complete the payment, which is what we call P2P cycle. But if I take another scenario where when we have got a requirement of the material, and suppose for that material we don't have the vendor in our company. If we don't have the vendor in the company for that material, what we do? We find out the new supplier, we select the best suppliers out of the multiple suppliers, and once again do the P2P to purchase the material, which is called as source to pay, S2P cycle. Listen, so what is the difference here? The difference is vendor exists or vendor does not exist. So how we are going to elaborate this in simple manner? Whenever we have got the requirement of the materials, and for that materials if vendor exists, we go for P2P cycle, and if vendor does not exist, we go for S2P cycle. Is that clear?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now if you have understood, last one question, guys, which I hope you can answer very easily. Is P2P part of S2P or S2P is a part of P2P?
P2P
P2P
is
is a
a
P2P
part
part
of
of
is
S2P.
part of
S2P.
S2P.
Okay. So I hope those concepts are very much clear then. So P2P is part of S2P because S2P is an overall cycle, and in that we are going to classify P2P and S2C separately. So P2P is part of S2P. Okay. So what we are going to do, guys, in our initial first week classes, so we are going to understand with respect to P2P only, guys, because P2P is a, as I said, day-to-day regular task. We don't go for selection of vendor every day, right? So purchase activities are regular activities which we do on regular every day, you can say. So how we are going to do that, how we are going to create a purchase orders, how we are going to prepare different documentation for that, how we are going to take approvals and multiple other things. So we are going to understand first P2P cycle, because whenever you join any company, no one will directly put you for saying that you only find the new vendors and you only select it and you only go for purchase activities. No, already company will be running on an existing project for which already the vendors and everything will be there in a company. So we are also first going to understand the P2P cycle on the practical basis. And once that is done, then we will go back and understand the source to contract, where it is majorly involved in theoretical sessions, where it is going to help us to understand the entire process of selecting a vendor and onboarding that vendor for our company. Okay, guys? So this week we'll be learning the entire process of P2P cycle. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Yes, yes.
Done, guys. So that's it for today's session. So if you have any questions, you can ask, or we shall conclude here.
Sir, one question, sir.
Sir, for first
Like,
time,
One by one.
sir, like in selecting the vendor, sir, we have to check some. Told we have to check some criteria like uh, timing and the cost and some more criteria are there. Like in if a company, if manufacturing company is there, which department will take care of all this, like matching the quotations and all those? Which
Purchase
department will
department.
take care of this?
Purchase department itself.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, guys. Next.
sir,
Yeah.
this first and the second class, sir, I had not attended. This is my first class today. So can you please share me those recordings as well?
Yeah, no issues, because first class and second class means, like, second class was just installation part and first class was just an introduction about SAP and overall. So main class we have started from today itself, our main SAP MM class. So no issues. Anyway, I'll share the video in the group, or I'll share it to you personally also. Just ping me on WhatsApp and you'll get that information.
Okay. Thank you.
Done, guys? Any more questions? Okay.
No, sir.
So yeah, anyway, so I'll share this video and also the notes in the group. You can go through that. So if any questions are there, we will meet tomorrow and we'll clarify those, and then we'll continue with the our first practical class, guys. Okay, done, guys. Chalo, bye bye, guys. Good night.